Hello everyone, Drew here. So I'm going to send out a video today, and I want to let you guys know before I even get started in the video that this video is mostly for me. Hopefully some of the information that I have to share today will help you in your journey, and if you're doing business with me or any kind of other business in the world, hopefully it'll help you in your business as well. Limiting beliefs and desires and where we're focused on and what we're trying to achieve are all part of what I have to say today. But I want to let you know that this one is for me. For the first time in a couple of years, I am going to be unplugging myself, turning my phone off, and just spending time with my wife for a week. Now, this is kind of a big deal for me, because over the last, 2.5 years, I have not had one day where I haven't been plugged in to what I do. I love what I do. I love the people that I work with, and it's just something that I love to do every day, and I just have not been able to unplug. Well, my mentor told me that if I do not unplug on this vacation that I'm getting ready to go on, if I do not unplug, turn my phone off, let my phone die, then she's disowning me. So, Candace, I am going to unplug. As soon as I step on that plane at 5:45, I will be unplugging for the entire week. I won't be available for anybody to reach me. So I have to get a couple of things out, and I'm going to do it on video. So just before I get started, I'm going to tell you that I'm not saying anything that I'm saying here to brag. This is not to brag. This is to help you see that there is nothing that you can't achieve. There's nothing that you can't accomplish in this life. The limiting beliefs are useless in this world. There is nothing that you can't do. So I want to tell you before, if you don't know me, my name is Drew Townsend. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I'm down 87 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. And I will tell you this, 4 years ago, I was living in my sister's basement. I was living, I didn't have any money. I was so far beyond broke. I didn't know where I was going with my life. I didn't know anything. All I knew is that I was unhappy. And I didn't even know if I was going to make it through the next day or the next month. And my sister, put a roof over my head. She was there for me when I needed her, which was absolutely unbelievable, and I'm so grateful for her. But I remember a conversation with her about 4 years ago, or more like 3 years ago, where I had been there for a long time, and I was a grown man, and we had a conversation where it seemed like I had worn out my welcome. I know that she didn't intend to make it sound like that, but that's what it was. I was there, I was 30 years old, and I'd worn out my welcome living in her spare room. And that, had an impact on me. So I decided that I wanted to make some changes, and I will tell you that just a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was living in a roach-infested apartment with my girlfriend and someone that was my roommate. And we couldn't afford to make ends meet. I wasn't even paying my bills. I was, beyond broke. My credit, I had terrible credit. I was so far behind my bills. I was just unhappy, not going anywhere with my life. And, cockroaches. I remember turning on the light in the apartment and cockroaches running across. Just a couple of years ago, I found what I wanted to do with my life. And, I wanted to be a health coach, and this is what I wanted to do with my life. So I made the changes. I got in good shape. I started working on myself first. And, this morning it really hit home. Here I am just a couple of years later. And I walked into my basement this morning, or into my garage this morning, and I opened up my garage door. And I'm looking outside, and the birds are singing. And when I open the garage door, my dream car is parked outside in my driveway. I live in a house that's a little bit too big for me. I'm getting on my treadmill, looking at my gym in my garage, and it just hit home that my life is absolutely unbelievable. And I am so grateful. Now, I can tell you that what I do, there is a lot of fortune in what I do, and there's a lot of money to be made in what I do also. But I will tell you this, it's not even about the money. It's not even about the money. It's the day that you wake up and that you decide that you want to be better than you were the day before, and that you want to constantly develop yourself into being a better human being. And if you do that, you will add value and attractiveness to yourself. And because you are more valuable and attractive, people will come to you and want your help, and you have an opportunity to shine your light on other people who don't see it for themselves yet. This is what I get to do with my entire life. 4 years ago, homeless. 3 years ago, living in a cockroach-infested apartment with a loser and my girlfriend. Right now, I'm living the lifestyle of my dreams. I can remember when I was a kid, I watched Double Dare. If you remember the show Double Dare, where they got to go to Universal Studios. And I remember if they won, they had to, finish this, incredible physical challenge. And then if they got it in within a minute, they would get to go to Universal Studios. And I remember looking at that thing and being like, oh my gosh, I would love to go there. That place is paradise. That place is unbelievable. Mom, can we go there? And I remember looking at my mother, and she would be like, she would look at me like I was asking her to go to Mars. Single parent. She wasn't really going anywhere in her life. And she would, seriously look at me like, I might as well have been asking to go to the moon. We knew that would never happen. Well, I got to tell you, man, tomorrow I'm going to a training, and then after the training, I'm jumping on a plane and going to Universal Studios with my wife. And we are going to have the best time ever as if we were children. I cannot wait. I can't wait to experience it. I'm really freaking out about being unplugged for that entire week, but I know that the people that I have in my life at home are going to continue to do the grind and do the deal the way that, we do it together every day. And I'm going to come home and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Couple of things that I wanted to share, though, is that, it's about intention, it's about focus and where you're trying to get to in your life. I will tell you this. A couple of the things that are fueling me every day to get me to the next level of my life. I want to change every person's life that I come in contact with. That is my goal. My goal is if I meet you, I want you to walk away from the conversation knowing that your life is going to be a little bit better. I want to make you smile today. I want to make you believe in yourself today. I want to help you see what I see for you. And a couple of the things that fuel me, I was thinking about it while I was doing my treadmill this morning. I was thinking about it, man. When I was 15 years old, my mother had a alcohol abuse problem, and she went to rehab, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was not in any place to take care of myself. And there was a lady named Lori, and Lori took me into her home. And all she was a friend of mine. She wasn't even a friend of the family. She was just a friend to me. I was friends with her stepson, and then later I became friends with her son, and she took me into her home. This was a good person. This was a person that showed me that there are people in this world that actually care. And I'm telling you, if you think there are people in this world that don't care, you are wrong. There are people that care. This woman took me into her heart and let me stay in her home while my mom was out being helped. I remember a conversation that I had with my father when I was in like 13 years old. And I had been with him for a couple of years. My mom wasn't in a good place, so I had been with my dad for a couple of years. And I remember I was grounded for like my entire 8th grade year. I sat at home for my entire 8th grade year. I was grounded. My own fault. I didn't behave, so I was grounded. So I remember a conversation at the end of my 8th grade year where I failed 8th grade, a conversation with my stepmother and my father, where they told me that I needed to apply for a technical school because there was no way that I was going to college. And they remember this conversation differently than I do right now, but I'm telling you that I remember the conversation, and they said there was no way that I was going to college. By the way, over that 8th grade year, I put on about 50 pounds. Put on no exercise, right? Put on about 50 pounds in that 8th grade year. So I set myself up for a high school of being picked on and people, not believing in me, and people, it was just bad. High school was bad for me. But I remember the conversation. I remember, like, to this day, my father not believing in me and telling me that I'm not meant for college. Fine. And then I remember, a couple of years ago, after all the struggles and the reason why I decided that I wasn't going to be better in my life was because that I was going to take care of my mom. I reached a point where I was using my mother as an excuse to not be better in my life. Well, that excuse ran out. About 4 years ago, after I was in that, I was already in that apartment, and after I had left my sister's house, 4 years ago, I got a phone call from the police that my mom was gone. My mom had passed away the night before. And I remember going to pick up my sister, and I remember going over to my mother's place where, the place was a mess. And she had never just pulled herself out of the depression and the unhappy feelings that she had and the regret and the doubt that she had in her life. And my mother died not knowing that she could accomplish more in her life. She passed away, and I didn't get to share that opportunity with my mother. However, I will tell you this. I remember looking at her that day when she was gone, saying goodbye, saying I loved her, and spending the next couple of days with my family. And then I remember going to school. And when I was driving to school, and I was driving to school in her truck, I was driving to school, and I had this moment of clarity where I had to pull over to the side of the road because I was just, it was a powerful moment. It was clear to me that I needed to stop making excuses and start living my life to the fullest and make myself better every single day. I can remember the tears rolling down my face. I can remember sobbing with gratitude, yes, with regret, yes, because of what I didn't get to share with her. But I remember sobbing and saying, today was the day that I'm going to change everything that ever happens to me for the rest of my life. So when I graduated with a 1.2 GPA in high school. I decided that I wanted to go to college, and I let that conversation that I had with my father fuel me, And of course, I went to school and I got a 4.0 GPA. I was on the dean's list. I did everything that I wanted to do. I accepted nothing less than 100% for myself. And listen, let me tell you, I am not the most intelligent person in this world. I am not the smartest man in this world. But I will tell you this, you will not outwork me. You won't outwork me. You won't outwork me. So when I took an exam in college and it came back and I got a 98%, you better believe that I was taking it to the instructor saying, hey, what did I do wrong here? I need to do better. I wasn't settling for anything less than 100%. I know that I'm not the smartest man in the world. I know that I'm not the most physically fit or the most talented or the most gifted person in this world. But you will not outwork me. And I'm telling you right now that if you adopt that philosophy to your life, nothing can stop you. You can be the person that says, if I do this and you do this at the same time, one of two things is happening. Either I'm winning or I'm dying. This is how hard that you can work. You can achieve anything that you want to. And I'm telling you, from my sister's basement, from that apartment to where I am now, happened because of effort and desire, sweat equity. Nothing comes easy. And if you have a job and people are telling you that your job, you can do better at your job, and here's how you do it, it's not the job. It's not the job's responsibility. It's not the people in your life. It's not their responsibility to make it better. It's your responsibility, and you can do it. There is nothing extraordinary about me or the people that are doing what I'm doing that also are successful. It is about effort. It is about desire. It's about being hungry and positive. It's about knowing that you can achieve anything that you want. Follow in the footsteps of people that are doing it before you and people that are doing it right now. Believe in yourself. And know that there's somebody in this world that you're looking at right now. There's somebody in this world that believes in you 100%. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't go to college. Don't let anybody tell you that there's another reason that you can't be successful. Don't let anybody tell you that. Don't put yourself in a position where you're out living your welcome in somebody else's house. Don't put yourself there. You can do more. You are meant for greatness. And I'm going to walk away for a week, and I'm going to have some conversations with myself where I know that I have to step back and let the people in my life thrive on their own. And the only reason why I cast such a large fishing rod out there and I try to reel them in all the time is because I love them and I want them to be successful and I want them to see what I see, but I already know that they see what I see. And you can too. If you are hearing this, I'm telling you that you can achieve anything. From my sister's basement to the lifestyle of my dreams. In 3 years, I did it by sweat equity, effort, desire, making myself better, making myself more attractive and more valuable every single day. You can do this. You can do this. If you are seeing this video, let me tell you, you can do it. You can do it. There's nothing that you can't accomplish. So if you're on my team and you're watching this, I love you. And thank you for everything that you have given me. Thank you for the opportunity to have this time for myself. I can't wait to have it. I cannot wait to get home and be with you. If you don't know where you're going in this life yet, you can have anything you want. You can have anything you want. And you can feel free to contact me. You can add me on Facebook. You can call me. I'll put my number on this video. You can call me anytime. And we'll work on it together. You don't have to be on my team. Let's do this thing together. This is Drew Townsend. This is May 2nd, 2014. One day before I'm going to unplug for the first time in a couple of years. Believe in your dreams. Earn your shirt. You can achieve anything you want. I love you. Hey, legends, I love you. Out.